Hello, my name is Nathaniel and I've got a little project going on that might be of interest to you. I'm going to build an extension on the back of the house out of a material called hempcrete. So let me talk you through it.
Episode 1. You're welcome to episode 1.
In episode 1, I'll be talking about why I'm knocking down the old extension, the problems of the house and how I'm hoping this project will solve them, taking a look at the new extension in terms of the materials it's made from, the form of the structure and how I've arrived at the styling.
Episode 1.
This is what the old extension looks like. And here it is in the CAD model. It's a strange old thing. On this side there's a sort of half bay window that lets in a bit of evening sunlight. And on this side there's what's left of an old outdoor toilet that's been bricked up at the back and turned into a cupboard. And it's got a combi boiler in it. And on that end the building's only one course of bricks thick, so it's freezing cold. I've also got damp problems in the house. The sewer and the rainwater drains come down here and they may be cracked. The yard might be built up over the level of the old slate damp-proof course in the Victorian wall here that would cause the underfloor to get damp. And certainly the existing yard is pouring the rainwater towards the building when it should be pouring it away. So the idea is to put something much better here and solve all of those problems at once. So it's cold, damp, ugly, weird shaped and a bit useless. It's time to get rid of the old extension.
That's better.
Now what am I going to put in its place? How about one of these? This is the new extension. It's a timber frame building with hempcrete infill on the walls. It's got a standard concrete strip foundation. There's a zinc roof with a big skylight in it. And it's built into the party garden wall to use up the yard space at that end. You can see that in terms of styling, I haven't made a feature out of the hempcrete. I've actually made it look like a traditional brick and steel industrial building, which matches the warehouses. We're in the warehouse district here. These hempcrete walls will be rendered and painted white, and they'll be indistinguishable from a brick wall. And these brick columns are actually just a decorative detail, but on a traditional building they'd be holding up an RSJ over this big double mews door, and so it will look like an industrial building. But if it were made of steel and brick and glass, it would be freezing cold, and you wouldn't get permission to build it because it wouldn't meet modern building standards. So the trick here is that I've used the hempcrete and timber to make the building perform a lot better thermally, but styled it to look like an old industrial building. The structure has quite a strange form, but it's really constrained in every direction, so I just followed these constraints, and this is where I ended up. The two walls here and here are at right angles to the main building, but this corner is cut off, and that's done so that this piece of yard space is still usable. And then this party wall here is set off 90 degrees, so the new wall follows that as well, adding another complication. In terms of height, it's as high as it can be given the regulations about light to these windows here on the neighbour's property. On the inside, the floor is set down one step compared to the rest of the house, so that it feels like there's enough headroom as this sloping roof comes down here. And by modelling the sunlight, I was able to see how to design the roof and the skylight. This is one full day in July. You can see that, first of all, get a little bit of morning sunlight from this side, and then the main building gets in the way and there's no light getting in the skylight there. And then around about 10:30 in the morning, that starts to clear and you get some light again. In the afternoon, the neighbour's building gets in the way. And then in the evening, around about 6:30, there's a bit of evening light coming in this way. But this time, in order that the sunlight gets to the existing windows in the house, I've taken this hip off the edge of the roof here and lowered the hem of the roof so that sunlight can get in. And that's how I've arrived at this form. That's it for episode 1. Next time I'm going to be talking about what hempcrete is. See you then.